Transition Awareness Breathing. Feeling grounded for both children and parents is essential for healthy living and learning. Join Eartha Powell on this series for tips and tools for creating a harmonious environment for learning. Transition Awareness Breathing will help you and your child find an individualized path to tackle change, promote lifelong learning, and discover new approaches to calmness.
Hello, welcome everyone. This is Eartha, and welcome to Transition Awareness Breathing Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am over the top excited. I have a wonderful special guest today, and then we're going to be talking about some things that people really don't want to talk about, but we're going to talk about it anyway, because we're going to bring in some mindfulness and some awareness to our lives about our finances and our financial management. So welcome my special guest, Mr. Cedric Elevancini.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Cedric is a business banker advisor, and he is a wealth of information. I was just talking to him a few minutes ago, and, I just mentioned many times, many of us, me included, this is a topic that many times, as far as finances, we don't want to talk about. I mean, we get invitations as far as credit cards. We get invitations to start up bank accounts. When we start working, it's almost like, we want to get paid, but then after that, what's next? We have to have someone to teach us and to guide us about what to do with our money and how to manage it. And so when I was talking to Mr. Cedric, I just realized, wow, that could be excellent. And he was mentioning how finances or mismanagement of finances can cause stress. So I would like to open it up and say thank you again, Cedric, for joining me. So how many years have you been doing this business advising and helping people?
Well, first of all, Eartha, I want to thank you for inviting me. I appreciate this opportunity where I can talk to people in a different platform. But yeah, finances is one of those topics that many times we don't talk about it. And it's something that we have to deal with every day, from the time that we get up in the morning and from the time that we go to sleep. So yeah, we are dealing with finances every day. Every day we have to think about how we're going to better ourselves. And that's one of the things that sometimes we don't think about it, because the main reason why we get a job or we go to school and we try to better ourselves is usually, to make more money. Let's keep it simple. It's to make more money, and money is finances. Let's keep it simple. The term finance can be used as a way to complicate things, but to keep it in simple terms is about money. That's all it is. Finances, money, credit, all of it. It comes down, to the power that you have to buy things and to have a better quality of life and so on. But a little bit about myself. I've been in finances or banking for maybe about 12 to maybe 14 years. I don't recall. Time flies.
Well, you have fun.
I started working in banking, and back in can't recall the exact year, but give and take, I have about 12 to 14 years of experience in banking, real estate, and business owner, and also business banker advisor. So I have a little bit of experience on different things, that I can probably, I'm not going to say that I am an expert, but I do, and I talk to people every day, and I do have some background in education in order for me, to be successful at what I do.
So as far as financing, how old should we be, or how young should we be when we start managing our money. I mean, like, I have a daughter who started college, and I,
Hmm.
I, I think we taught her a little bit, but I don't know if we taught her the right things because when you're out on your own, it's a total different thing than when you're with your parents because your parents just take care of everything. So how old should our children be when to get them involved in financial management?
Thank you for asking that wonderful question. This is something that sometimes we try to put it off, but we should be, as a family or as parents, I feel that we should start, at a very early age. From the time, that they are learning to count, okay, from the time that they are playing with toys, many times, they have to make, believe it or not, financial decisions. Okay, when they are babies, when they are learning, and more importantly, it is how we behave as adults. They're gonna learn from us.
Mm.
So it is something that if we teach them as models, then they're gonna pick those things up. So I think the earlier you get on it, and if you do it by example, that's more powerful than just preaching to them and then do it together as a family and teach them about the value of savings and the value of not just buying things and overspending. And in a way, I will say it, people don't like this word. Let's teach them how to be frugal. Let's teach them how to live comfortably, but with quality of life. Okay. Um, and unfortunately, we live in a society that from the time that we are babies, we get exposed to many commercials and marketing. Now, with the invention of the internet, kids at a very age, they have access to the phone and they get bombarded, with all these messages about buying and spending. But that's where we as parents have to be involved and try to guide them the right way. Okay. Sometime I think of it, all of this marketing that we're exposed to,
Yeah.
and let's say about our kids. It is out there. We cannot prevent it from because they're gonna be exposed some way or another. They're gonna be because it's part of the world. We're part of the society. But we as parents have the power, to influence them to make the right decisions and make the right choices. Let me give you an example. We know that drugs are bad. We know that guns are bad or violence. Okay. It is out there. It is available. But we as parents made the conscious effort to teach our kids, don't go that route. Don't go into drugs. Don't be a violent person. So I think if we take the same approach when it comes to finances, and especially when it comes to consumerism, buying stuff just to buy it, because we get this constant feeding of commercialization. Mm-hmm. So we, as parents, we have to be involved in the lives of our kids and try to guide them and help them to make the right decisions. So if you think, when is it appropriate? I will say from the time that you are thinking to have a kid, you should be thinking about, okay, how am I going to teach my family how to be responsible with money?
I think that is a good point, and it does lead into some stress, especially I remember with my daughter, she's the first, and the marketing out there, they do market for children because they put items that's child luring, if I can use that term, right on the child's level. And you have your cute little toddler or your cute little baby, and you don't want to say no. They don't have to meet toys.
Right.
You want them to have educational things. And next,
right.
You're going in the store for diapers and you come
Right.
out with a whole shopping cart of stuff you didn't even plan on buying. I've totally been there, and so
Yeah.
I I realized that at a young age, as you're saying, that it was important. It was important to set boundaries, but not
Right.
make it, where I didn't want to say no, you can have it, because you know what happens when we say no, you want something, you know.
Right. Right.
I had to be creative and say, well, not right now, or we didn't come to the store for that, came to the store for this, and just be really focused. But a lot of times that does cause a lot of stress.
It
That
does.
so as your business, you see people coming in your business in some financial stress. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yes, it is very common for people to come into the bank and request extra money, like a credit card, or request, some advances on your credit card or lines of credit, which is okay. I mean, it's part how we can manage our finances. You just have to be smart about it and be conscious of the risk that is involved with it. Okay. There's nothing wrong with using those tools because they are financial tools. And I like to compare, for example, credit cards and lines of credit and loans. I like to compare them like tools. These are financial tools.
Mhm.
And let's say a carpenter, might have a saw, to cut the wood, and might have a hammer. And so it depends on the need or depends on the job, you use the appropriate tool. So it makes your job easier. Okay. Same thing with financial tools. If you use these financial tools, to leverage yourself or leverage, maybe opportunity, by all means, and that's where you have to be very conscious and be very smart about it and know what you are doing. Okay. Because you wouldn't use the hammer, the example that I gave you of the carpenter, you wouldn't use the hammer, to cut a piece of wood, and vice versa. You wouldn't use the saw, to hammer a nail, because most likely you're going to hurt yourself. Okay. So same thing with financial tools. If you don't use it for the right purpose, you might hurt yourself. Okay.
Gee.
But yeah, finances is something that we had to be very conscious about it, I will say. But it's a subject, that it can go in many, many different ways. It could go into psychology, because there is a psychology of buying things. It could be management, how you manage your money. It could be about habits too, because, for example, savings, many people that tend to save is because they created the habit. Just like people, we are taught to brush our teeth, 2-3 times a day. It becomes a habit. We just do it automatically. Same thing, the way you manage your money, and same thing, the way if you start, saving for a goal, or just saving because it's just a habit. It happens that you are accustomed to every month put certain amount to the side for whatever reason. Could be to buy a car, to buy a house, or to have those emergency funds that maybe we can talk about it too. But it's always good, to have that habit of savings. And how do we acquire that habit? Again, is we learn, from childhood, getting to that constant habit that, okay, maybe my parents give me some allowances. Maybe I spend only half of it, and the other half I save it. Let's put it, that's an example, But yeah, I think finances, can go in many different routes. So you pick the subject and we can talk about that, and you switch it, to other area, and it's also related to it. And like you mentioned earlier, it could be very stressful, but at the same time could be very rewarding. It could be very satisfying. Okay. So it could be both ways.
Taking the perspective as that is a tool is very, very interesting. Yeah, and using the appropriate tool for whatever
Right.
your goal is. What
Right.
are some common stressors that most people in the finance business usually see from us people in the public?
Right. Well, I think we already talked about it. Some of the stress that we always get, is that we want to buy things, and if we are on an income and we are in a certain limit income, and that could be stressful. That could be depressing. That maybe we want to get this. I don't know. Let me give an example. We want to get the new, I don't know, 85-inch TV, and because all my friends, they got the latest console or the latest game, or we have a coworker, that just bought a nice brand new car. So yeah, we get stressed about that, but that's why, it's nice, to have also a psychologist, to give us that perspective that it has nothing to do with us. We're still good people.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just sometimes we get stressed because we want to get things, that maybe are not within our means. Okay. So yeah, it's could be stressful, but at the same time, I think it could be rewarding, if you know how to manage your life. And like I said earlier, money, it is one of the most important things, that we do in life. And I put it, right below family. Family first, and then money. We go to school, to make more money. We go to work to make money. We try to get a promotion so we can make more money. Okay. Obviously, many times, we do it because we enjoy our work, but we enjoy it more when we get rewarded. Okay. And we get paid for it. So,
For sure.
okay. So, for example, you could be a musician and you can be the best musician, but if you're not being rewarded for it, eventually you're going to say, I'm going to have to get me another job. Okay.
Be sure and pick up a copy of Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's not just an ordinary coloring book. It features 23 illustrations to stimulate thought, relaxation, and creativity for anyone between the ages of 4 and 94. Increase your positive self-talk energy. Unlock new creative paths. Transform your time once or twice a week to create beautiful art while strengthening confidence, building positive self-talk, and sensitize self-awareness. Tab Mindfulness, Awareness and Coloring Activities in a Pandemic World. It's available now at Amazon.com.